I spend a lot of time reviewing ASUS's gaming hardware. Everything from its ROG to its TUF range comes by my office. This is the first time that I've got my hands on something that is an entirely custom built PC for content creation. The ASUS ProArt lineup aims to deliver the same incredible performance and value we know from the brand, but with a touch of sophistication. If you're a creator, designer, video editor, or just looking for a PC that isn't plastered with gaming, print, and RGB, this ProArt lineup is made for you. The entire build includes ASUS's latest ProArt components. The case is the PA602, and inside, the brand has included the ProArt Z790 Creator Motherboard, the ProArt RTX 4060 GPU, the ProArt LC420 all-in-one cooler, the Prime 850W power supply, two 2TB SSDs, and 64GB of RAM. As for the CPU, ASUS has included an Intel 14th Gen 14700K processor to power it all. Let's start with the ProArt PA602 case. This PC is like the Mac Pro for Windows users. Everything from its vented exterior grille to its large fans screams production studio. There are plenty of ports for all your external storage devices, displays, and accessories. Not to mention, ASUS has even thought of adding a lock switch to the power button so you or someone else don't accidentally turn off the PC during a heavy export or render. It is quite a hefty PC case. It comes in at 560mm by 245mm and is 593mm tall. The case on its own weighs 15.8 kilograms without anything inside of it. So right now we're looking at a case well over 20 kilograms. On the top, ASUS has included two USB Type-A 2.0 and two 3.0 ports. There's also a USB Type-C port in between those. There's also a power switch to control the case's fans, a power and reset switch, and the awesome power lock toggle I mentioned earlier. The front of the case boasts this cool looking grille design. The grills are quite spaced apart and curve inwards near the top. Not gonna lie, the front looks like the badass Runa helmet from Lords of the Fallen. Not only does this portion look cool, but the front of the case is also smart. It is completely toolless and includes an IR sensor that detects dust and tells you when it needs to be cleaned. The so-called smart filter then turns on a light when it needs cleaning. As someone who absolutely hates dust, this light will never go on, just saying. But it is a cool feature for those who don't spend enough time cleaning their PCs. The case has also been designed to be moved around. There are 4 wheels at the bottom which help move this oversized unit around. Again, this is helpful for studios when you need to set up render farms and export lines. You can just push this baby across the office and plug it into another outlet. From a technical perspective, this case supports up to a 420mm radiator on the top with various fan slots all around the front and the rear. It comes pre-installed with a 140mm fan on the rear and 2 giant 200mm fans on the front. Giant isn't even the right word to describe these fans, they are pretty humongous. The cooler included in this build is also the ASUS ProArt LC420mm all-in-one cooler. ASUS is pretty serious about cooling in this case. You can see this with the 420mm cooler support, large 200mm fans, and there's even a pretty stylish vent etched into the tempered glass panel to further help with the airflow. This vent has been positioned to push air out of the case. All of these fans are then connected to the fan hub on the back side of the case. This fan hub was also hidden away and it took up way less space than I expected. In terms of motherboards, this case supports E80X, ATX, Micro ATX, Mini RTX, DTX, and Mini DTX. ASUS also included the matching ProArt Z790 motherboard in this build, which I will dive into soon. The case can then house a GPU up to 450mm and even stack 2 of them at the same time into one build. The GPU included in this build is the ASUS ProArt RTX 4060, but more on that in a bit. As for the customization, the ProArt PA602 has removable hard drive support. It can, however, house 4 3.5-inch hard drives and 4 2.5-inch SSDs. These storage mounts can then be removed to make way for a longer power supply if need be. This is important to note because you can easily fit a 190mm power supply into the case. However, anything longer is going to be a tight fit. You can then remove a hard drive storage rack to make way for longer units. I was quite impressed by the ASUS ProArt PA602 case. There's a lot to enjoy here. While it is practical for those who need something like this, I really enjoyed the smaller attention to detail here and there too. The vent on the tempered glass is sophisticated, the toolless design makes it incredibly easy to fiddle around with, and even the front smart cover is something you won't find elsewhere. Every time I explored the case, I found something new. The antenna storage compartment is super nifty on the top of the case, for example. There's even a little clip compartment to tidy up wires on the back side. I especially enjoyed the toolless GPU holder that unscrewed on the back, let me install the GPU and secure it in place with this hinge-like mount. I wish all PCs had this, gaming or non-gaming related. Not to mention that ASUS has even branded the front dust cover and front grille with the ProArt logo. You don't see this until you remove the cover from the case. It looks pretty amazing. Of course, this ProArt case is only further elevated thanks to the other ProArt components inside. The RTX 4060 is so clean with its gold text and sleek black shell. The coolest white LED and cube design look like some sort of alien artifact. The white LED light is also designed in a line and increases as the fan speeds up. The light then grows as the pump speed increases. The motherboard is simplistic too, with very subtle ProArt decals etched across some of the heatsinks. I especially enjoyed the translucent I/O port modules, where you can just subtly see the metal backings of the motherboard ports. It all fits together in a gorgeous looking ecosystem, similar to how the ROG and TUF range sort of look like they belong together. It all works. When it comes to the cable management, the case has a lot of freedom to neaten things up too. The cable ties on the backside are also ProArt branded, of course, and with all the components installed and cables neatly tied together, the case provided a clean look and feel. I then had to take the PC for a spin because it was just too gorgeous to leave sitting there while it was turned off. ASUS installed some editing software for me and I ran some benchmarks on the Intel 14th Gen 14700K. This meant I was able to see just how well the ProArt LC420mm cooler worked. Here are some of the results I got. It goes without saying that the ProArt range is also fully customizable through the built-in ASUS Armoury crate. Here I could monitor the fan speed and CPU temperatures. If there was RGB, it would be tweakable here too, but the ProArt lineup ain't about that life. My overall experience with this entire PC was fairly positive. I enjoyed how well ASUS brought to life this ProArt range with a bit more class. The lack of RGB actually makes me happy. I don't use my own RGB on my gaming PC, so the clean design was perfect. The whole range should be seen as a great option for designers and content creators looking to build a dedicated PC. So those are my thoughts on this ProArt range. Do you have any questions on any of the components? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're here, please do consider liking and subscribing for future Glitch content, and be sure to visit glitch.online for more gaming tech news and reviews. Until next time, farewell.